Welcome back to EMS and Bowling.
You know, the pins in that intro really make it sound like the ambulance crashed.
It does, actually. I never thought about that, but that is pretty awesome.
Pretty awesome, he says.
I'm your host, Mike, and co-host Abby over here. What's up, Abby?
Oh, back for the 5th time. It's only the 2nd for you guys, though.
Right. So last week we talked about Abby and her life in EMS and everything else around it. And this week we're going to flip the script and she's going to talk to me about what I did before EMS and during EMS. Before we get started, make sure you hit that like, subscribe, and notification button so you can know when we are posting more episodes.
He loves saying that.
I do. Anyway.
Fuck off, man. Fuck off. Holy shit.
All right. So let's get started.
Okay. Let's start with something really hard. How are you today, Mike?
I'm doing wonderful. It's been actually a pretty decent day today.
It actually has.
Yeah.
Even though I just had a patient who was like drooling all over the place, but
That is awesome. Was it drug induced?
no.
No.
Which makes it even more awesome.
Right.
That was just for the love of the game right there. I guess we should start at the beginning.
Yeah.
Way, way, way back.
Way, way, way back.
Mike, you were in a fire department before you started EMS. How did you do that? Why did you do that?
Well, it all started back when I was like 17. I had a couple friends that were part of the volunteer fire department. I would run calls with them when we were hanging out, and I thought it was cool. So as soon as I turned 18, I joined the fire department and started running calls myself.
Were they just like ditching you to go run calls?
No, I would go with them.
That doesn't seem okay.
And like sit in the car. Like they would respond to the scene with their personal vehicle, and I would like sit in the car with
You were
them.
kind of like a mascot.
Yeah, for sure. So
What kind of calls? Were you going on medical calls and you were just like kind of...
yeah, medical, fires, everything, accidents. Actually, I met my first wife on one of their accidents.
Oh?
Yeah, I was just chilling by my car, and she walked up and said, "Hey, can I get a cigarette?" And I was like, "Yeah." And then we started talking, and that's how we met.
I dream of meeting somebody like that.
Yeah. So that was pretty interesting.
So then you took an EMT. Oh, you joined a fire department.
Yeah.
And then what made you decide to take an EMT class?
Well, most of the calls were EMS related. So the state offered a free class, and I decided to take it to see what would happen. I never thought that I would do it as a career. I figured I'd take the class and run some EMS calls and maybe do it as a part-time job. And I got offered a full-time position when I applied at this agency that we work at. And yeah, it went off from there. And now I've been doing it for 16 years now, something like that. 16, 17 years.
It's a trap. It's a black hole.
It is. Once you get in it, you can't get out. It's like the Hotel California.
Cue the guitar solo.
Right.
Was there like a turning point where you realized that you wanted to do it as a career, or did you just look back one day and realize, oh, I've been doing this as a career for like a while now?
Yeah, that pretty much is what
Yeah,
happened.
yeah.
Like I just was like, oh, another different job, because as we might get into it, I've had a lot of jobs.
We're gonna have to get into that.
And so I was like, oh, it's just another job. It's kind of cool. I only work 2 days a week and have the rest of the week off. 57 hours. I get overtime. It was cool. So
How do you feel about doing fire versus EMS? Because the two are hand in hand, but they're pretty different. I really didn't care for firefighting. I did my interior. I'm an interior certified firefighter. I'm 5'4". Like, I'm not pulling anybody out of a burning building. I'm going to be real right now. But I really love EMS.
I'm pretty sure you could. The adrenaline would kick in and you would probably be able to do it.
Well, I mean, I passed the training, so I technically can.
Right.
But, like, let's be real for a minute here.
I prefer the fire side of things because that's really what got me into this in the first place. But pretty much it's all EMS for me. Like I have the responsibilities of the fire department that involve the EMS side of it. I'm the guy that signs all the reserves. I do all the inventory. I'm supposed to do trainings. So a lot of my stuff goes to EMS these days.
How do you feel about that agency versus this one? Tell us about your other cool friends. Are they as cool as we are?
So the other agency I worked for?
The other agency you're currently, your fire department.
Oh, the fire department? I mean, a lot of them are very good friends that I've been friends with for a very long time. So I would say that they're
They're cooler than
probably
us?
cooler than you guys. So
Wow.
not, I
Well,
mean, not like,
we're losing listeners as you speak.
I mean, this might bring some listeners in. You never know. I mean, obviously they're really good friends. I spend a lot of time with them outside of work and stuff. So, you know, I'm making some friends here that I can see being really good friends.
Not me, to be clear.
I mean, yeah,
He flipped me off as he said that. He was like, "No, it's not you."
we pretty much just do the podcast together. We don't talk other than that. Just so you know.
Let's talk about your life before any of the EMS or fire stuff. What was your first job?
Oh Jesus. So I started at McDonald's when I was 14 years old.
That seems illegal.
Yeah, well, it wasn't. I had
Probably at the time too. It was different.
I had working papers. And so I was able to work just like a few hours a week. But I wasn't able to go behind the counter. Like I could clean the lobby and like take garbages out, but I was not allowed to go behind the counter and wait on customers.
That doesn't seem like enough to warrant a job.
Well, I needed something to do.
Right, but like I mean, on their part, I don't know. What were they paying you? Like $2.50 an hour?
So probably. I mean, it was like a long time ago, and like minimum wage. I don't even know what that was, but yeah, it was probably like I probably got paid nothing.
How long did you work there?
Well, on and off, I was there until I was 19, 20, 19.
So a while.
Yeah. I was actually a shift leader manager, and next in line to be store manager for the store I worked at. But I, had a baby and got a real job, which was not my choice, but you know, it happened.
Do you like look at jobs like that and think of it as like not a real job versus a real job? Some people do. Like I'm always curious on people's take on that.
So if you are just working, and I don't want to like upset anybody, but if you're just like working at McDonald's, like it's a job. It pays the bills. Like if you need a job, it pays the bills. But as like a store manager, a salaried position, they make really good money.
Yeah, so. I believe it. Yeah. Because it's like a huge corporation, right?
Right. Yeah. And like I was good friends with a district manager, and she was probably raking in back then probably like $150 a year.
Oh shit!
Right, but that was like she was in charge of like 8 stores, so yeah. So I did the McDonald's thing, and then got a semi real job.
You know, some of the people here call this not a real job.
That's right. He didn't work here very long, did he?
Some other people will heavily imply it too.
Yeah, the same gentleman that asked us if we were going to have real jobs eventually also didn't know who Nirvana was, and I was very disappointed. I told him his parents failed him.
Mike had a hard time with that.
I did.
I won't judge you. The music is the one thing I will not judge you about. You cannot know who Nirvana is, and that's fine. But also, don't say something isn't a real job and then not even make the cut.
Right.
That's crazy.
Right.
Okay, so McDonald's, and then you had a kid.
That's right. I was young. Had her when I was 19. Yeah. She currently works with us.
She does?
21 years old.
She's probably listening to this right now.
I don't know about right now, but eventually she'll listen to it. I don't even know. Did she even listen to the first episode?
She sure did.
That's great.
Shout out.
I love that. Yeah, but so I had a kid, and I got offered a position through family at Verizon Wireless, working as a contractor for them. I was a cell phone technician.
Ooh.
Yeah, back in the flip phone days.
So if you guys have a flip phone that needs fixing, but also you have like a medical issue, I have just a guy to send you.
That's right. At $32 an hour. It was definitely an interesting job. I definitely got some stories of that job. People would just get pissed about stupid stuff. Like they would drop their phone in the water or in the toilet, and then they would bring it to me and be like, my phone's not working. What'd you guys do to it? And then I'd be like, open the phone up and there's watermarks in there. And I could be like, you got your phone wet. And they're like, no, I didn't. And I'm like, yes, you did. And then they would throw it at my face.
Yes, you did.
So it's really funny though, because we had a coworker and she had like a nervous laugh. So like when she would get stressed out, she would laugh, right? So she would be like, you dropped your phone," and like start laughing at these people, and they would get so mad at her, and she would just continue to laugh at them, and it was
That
great.
is really unfortunate. That is super unfortunate. It's funny, but probably not for her.
It wasn't for her, no, but it is funny for us.
So people in food service must have been like that too, right? Also getting mad about stupid shit and then throwing things, and it's
Yeah,
like a
I
whole
mean,
thing.
McDonald's is like a whole different story, but yeah, people would get pissed about their food getting out wrong.
It's all just practice for this job.
I mean,
Just job experience.
that's right. Yeah, so
Mike was flipping those burgers like nobody's business.
right, absolutely. I had to fire my roommate one time.
Tell that story. That's crazy.
Seriously, it was insane. So there's 3 of us that worked together at McDonald's, and we were all roommates. And I was a manager, the other roommate was a manager, and then we had one guy that lived with us that was not a manager, and he got caught taking like his girlfriend and like her whole family came in and sat in the side lobby where like nobody could see them, and he was taking food out to them and like giving them food. And like I called the store manager and was like, "This is what's going on," and he's like, "This isn't the first time this has happened. You need to fire him." And I was like, "You do realize that we live together, right?" And he's like, "I know." And I'm like, "Why don't you come in and do this?" And he's like, "Nope, I'm not coming in. Like, you need to take care of this." So I literally had to fire my roommate and then go home to him.
How did that go over?
It was not cool. He was drunk when I got home, and things did not go over well.
Did you feel bad, or were you just kind of pissed?
I mean, he shouldn't have been stealing food.
Yeah, like he did it to himself,
Right,
but like
and
that puts you in a terrible position.
It totally did, because like, I didn't give him like, maybe I favoritism a little bit because we were roommates, but like I wasn't gonna let him get away with stealing that much food. It gets all counted. Like even back then, it was all counted.
How much longer did you guys live together after?
It wasn't very long. Me and my other roommate kicked him out.
Oh, so not only did you fire him, you also evicted
Yeah,
him.
yeah. It was
Wow.
like it was probably like 3 or 4 weeks later. Like he wasn't able to pay the bills, and like so we had to remove him from the premises, and we found another roommate.
Do you know what happened to him? Where he ended up?
No idea.
I imagine not somewhere super favorable, but maybe he turned his life around because of you. You were like kind of his turning point.
There's a very good chance he may have, but I doubt it. He was definitely not. He was definitely like the McDonald's like stereotypic worker.
Somehow I don't think Mike means that as a compliment. That's crazy.
Oh, yes, I do. Absolutely.
Okay, so you worked at McDonald's. You were a cell phone technician.
Yep.
Anything else?
Oh yeah, there's tons of stuff. I detailed cars.
You were a car guy.
Yeah,
Did that spark the interest, or have you always been a car guy?
I've always been a car guy. Fast and Furious forever. Vin Diesel, gotta love them. Detailed cars for a little bit. What else did I do? I seal coated driveways for a little bit. That was fun. My boss was a crackhead. It was under the table, and that was an interesting.
I think you
job.
should talk about that more.
Yeah. So I was in between jobs, and my neighbor knew this guy that had a seal coating business on the side, and he's like, "You should go, pick up some time with him just to make some money." And I was like, "Okay, cool." So he like introduced me, and then I realized this guy was a crackhead, and it was like literally me, his girlfriend, and him in a pickup truck driving around seal coating driveways. And like I would literally have to go to his house and like wake him up and be like, "Yo, dude, we got to go to work." Like he's the boss. And he'd be all like cracked out.
Who was hiring this guy?
Everybody. Like we were busy.
Whoa.
Right. Like I don't know if it was like repeat customers that just kept calling them, but like we did some pretty like nice houses, some pretty big houses too. Like
maybe it was a little illegal, but like he was still doing a thing. That business was rolling.
I don't know if the business was illegal, but definitely
his methods.
Yeah. So that was an interesting job. I found out the hard way that getting seal coat on your body and standing in the sun all day long did not go very well.
you should have been wearing proper PPE. And as a firefighter, you should also know that. It's like the first thing they tell you in basic exterior firefighting operations, Michael.
You're absolutely right. But in summer heat, I was not wearing long sleeves.
It's almost like when you're in a fire, you have to wear long sleeves as well.
That's true, but
what was your favorite job that wasn't first responder related? Out of all the other weird little jobs you've had.
Well, I mean, so we didn't get to this, but I was a truck driver for a little bit. And that was probably my favorite because, like we talked about in the first episode, I love music. So I was able just to get my truck, put music on, and just go and just enjoy time by myself. And that was probably my favorite. The worst part about that job was unloading the trailer by myself.
Were you like a private contractor or were you working for a company?
No, I worked for a company.
Gotcha. Okay.
They like helped me get my CDL, and I had to like sign a contract that I was going to stay with them for so many years, and blah blah blah. But yeah, it was a company. We did food service delivery, so it was like fast food restaurants and stuff.
Gotcha. All right. Mike, one of the biggest differences between us, and there aren't that many, we're super similar in every single way except this.
Oh yeah.
Is that you are a parent. How many kids do you have?
5.
5.
Yes.
Did you always know that you wanted to be a dad?
No. It was definitely something that I thought was going to happen, but once it did, like once I had my first one, like I fell in love with being a parent. So having a lot of kids was not a bad thing for me.
Sure.
I love my kids.
He's aware that they're listening.
I think only one, maybe 2 of them would be listening. I don't know if my son would listen to this, probably.
You were really young when you had your first kid. You said 19?
19, yep.
Do you look back at that and you're like, that's an insane age to have a kid?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Like I was definitely young. I was still a kid myself, growing up and then having a kid. It was super scary, but you know what? I did what I had to do, and 2 years later I had another one. So obviously I was doing something right, and yeah.
I admire that a lot. I would never have kids, so I always admire the people who do. How do you think it's affected your job? Because this is a weird job with weird hours, and so I imagine having kids is kind of even more stressful if you take that into account.
Yeah, I mean, the hours that we work definitely take, what word I don't even know what word I'm looking for, but it definitely does hurt the family life. We work long hours, we're up for long periods of times, and then so your days off, you usually go home and you're tired and you want to go to sleep. Sometimes you're grouchy and the kids see that. Sometimes you have a bad call, and sometimes the kids can help with bad calls, just by going home and like hugging your own kids. But I definitely have missed a lot of birthdays, Christmas, stuff like that, baseball games, a lot of baseball games I regret missing. And, but yeah, this job does take a toll on that.
When your daughter started in EMS, did you encourage that? Did you discourage that? Were you like, that's a bad idea? Or were you like, I guess go for it?
I didn't discourage it at all. I was kind of surprised when she said she wanted to do it. So I got excited, honestly. And so I helped her in all the ways possibly that I could to get her into the class. Like convincing her to join the fire department so she didn't have to pay for the class. And then, so I was actually pretty excited about it. So that was the reason why I came back to where we work now, because she started working here, and I was like, I think it'd be cool to work with my daughter, even though we work opposite shifts now. We never see each other.
Is it cool to work with your daughter?
I don't know. We work opposite shifts if we never see each other. I mean, we run into each other like in the mornings during like shift change, and usually she's mean to me because she's tired and I'm not. I mean, so she does think that she's going to go get her paramedic so that she can pick up a shift with me and boss me around.
You said think.
Yeah, she thinks she's going to do that.
Mike, you're also a dispatcher here as well as an EMT. Why did you do that?
I have no idea.
Wow, do you regret it?
No, I don't mind dispatching. I like dispatching because I guess I like telling people what to do.
And he abuses it. Let me tell you, Mike the other night sent me on 2 calls in a row. I walk out the next morning I haven't said anything yet. I am mad about it though. And before I say anything, Mike looks at me. He goes, I know I fucked up. I don't want to talk about it. And I was like, you don't want to talk. Sorry, you don't want to talk about it.
I knew I messed up, and I knew Abby was going to be mad about it. So
that's so crazy. They would be like, yeah, I messed up, but I actually really don't feel like talking about it. So
who was your partner?
Carlos.
Oh, it was Carlos. Yeah,
it was. Yeah.
Yes. I'm sorry.
So he wasn't going to confront you about it.
No, he was not.
I'm
Carlos
going
was
to.
nice.
He is very nice.
So, yeah, I messed up. Being a dispatcher though, like it's something I enjoy doing. I did it at another agency. And I did it for years, and I really like doing it. The only thing that I don't like about dispatching is at nighttime, like you're up for every call. When the crews are up for every like other call or
yeah, but you don't have to leave the building. Don't start with me.
I do when people get their rig stuck in the snow.
That was not my fault. I want you guys to know that it was the middle of a massive snowstorm. I'm crying, trying to drive up this hill, fishtailing everywhere. This ambulance is sliding backwards. Also, this was a Delta call. I'm on a BLS crew. My partner is much newer than me. This person is apparently actively having seizures, and I'm just like, I'm about to have a seizure too. I was so stressed. Oh my God.
But we got you a different, well, actually, no, I brought a different rig for you, but then I got your original rig unstuck.
It felt very much like calling my actual dad to be like, Dad, I got my car stuck. I just need you to come drive it out.
And I did exactly that. And the patient was not having a seizure anymore, and they walked to the ambulance. And
he was so perfectly fine. I was a little like, I was stressing so much for this, but at the same time, I'm glad he wasn't actually having a seizure because that would have been really unfortunate.
Right, absolutely. But no, there are definitely shifts here that I work where I dispatch at nighttime that we're shorthanded, and I do have to dispatch and run the streets.
It's a hard life.
It is. It is.
Also, I imagine when you're a dispatcher, maybe I'm just projecting a little bit. People probably just like hate you sometimes.
Oh, absolutely.
And that's like a little difficult.
Absolutely. I've gotten a lot of threatening text messages from crews.
That has not been from me.
No.
By the way, that sounds like it's implying it's me. It's not.
No, it's definitely not. This is like at the other agency I would work at. Like I literally could like dispatch. I could tell the crew that they had a call, and I could literally count the seconds. I could be like 1, 2, 3, boom, my phone would go off, and I would know that was going to happen. Yeah, people definitely hate on dispatchers. And then the dispatchers like me, I would be like, hey, it ain't my fault. It's 911. Go call them and complain to them about it.
The 911 calls, they don't upset me. It's when you get sent to like Rochester at 2 a.m. You've never done that to me.
I don't do that.
But some people, perhaps at this agency, perhaps not, do that. And it makes me livid every single time.
Yeah, I definitely don't do that.
Sometimes when we're on the way to the hospital, like we're driving to go pick up the patient, and I was just sent on this 2 a.m. Rochester trip, I will like pull up music gear I want to buy on the company laptop sitting in the ambulance so I can motivate myself to be like, I actually don't want to quit. Like, no, I swear I want to do this. I want this job.
That's good motivation, for sure. Mine would be car parts.
Yeah. Sometimes you just like look at that number and you're like, I do need to do this.
Right. Absolutely.
Mike, so you mentioned your daughter said that she eventually wants to become a paramedic. You've made it pretty adamantly clear that you don't ever want to be a paramedic.
No, I've been a basic for 16 years.
Why is that?
Because I like it. I mean, I like being a basic. I'm comfortable being a basic, and I don't want to be a medic. It's just, I like the fact that when shit hits the fan, I can just get in the front seat and drive. I mean, don't get me wrong. If there was somebody else to drive and I could stay in the back and assist my medic, I would definitely do that too.
Sure.
But like, yeah, I mean, I don't want to be a medic, and it's something that I feel very sure about.
So there's no universe where you would ever change your mind. You're like, I'm 100% sure that will just never happen.
Yeah.
I respect that. I think that people hate on EMT basics too much because we're not paramedics. But then when the paramedics get stuck with an EMT basic who doesn't have experience, they get upset.
Right. And then when you have a very good basic that has a lot of experience, they enjoy that because they know that most of their job will be done by the basic.
And Mike is the most super out of all the super basics.
I am not super basic. I don't know where you got that from.
I'll put a timestamp somewhere for episode 1 where Mike brings up that exact term.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I like being a basic, and like if I was forced to become a medic, I think that I think that I would probably do bad because I don't want to do it. So I
Yeah.
feel like it's something that, like, if you don't want to be something, you're not going to do well at it. So I don't see me ever doing it. And
I think we see that a lot, which is not to say that people will do it and then they'll be a bad paramedic. It's just that they'll get burned out so fast because they resent the job because they don't actually really want to be there.
right. And I don't think it has anything to do with like patient care. I think just like they just don't want to be a paramedic.
I think some of it probably does reflect in patient care because that's kind of inevitable. But I think that a lot of these people are pressured into it, which is not to say they had zero agency in the decision, but like I feel for them because you do get pushed really hard to be like, oh, well, you've been doing this for this amount of time. This is the next thing you have to do.
Right.
So,
And I mean, in some agencies, you can make really good money being a basic. So, I mean, but as Abby says, the ALS money is really good.
oh God, I'm so jealous. I get so jealous. My partner holds it over me all the time.
So when are you becoming a medic?
It's so time consuming. I want to eventually, I really do. But like, it's really time consuming. I don't know, man. Eventually, yes, but like, I kind of just want to like chill and play guitar with my friends.
I understand that, but on
You
the other
know?
hand too, and I don't know what your plans are for the future, like kids or anything like that, but like one of the reasons why I didn't jump right into medic is because I had young kids and I couldn't take the time off of work to do paramedic. So that was like why back then I didn't do it, and now I'm just comfortable being a basic, and I just don't want to do
Well, as I told you, I could never have kids because, again, what if they don't fuck with the strokes?
it.
Can't deal with that. Uh, I will do my paramedic eventually. It's just a matter of when am I going to have this time I am willing to fully commit myself to this thing that takes a lot of time and a lot of effort. And
And there we go again with like if you don't have the full commitment,
yeah,
you're
and
not
I
gonna
know
put
I don't right
100%
now.
into it.
I especially like yeah, I know I don't right now. I had like a lot of music stuff the past year. I have a lot of music stuff this summer. And I just know that I will not be 100% into it. Also, it would really suck to pay that much money to take the course and then fail it.
Right.
Um,
Which I definitely know some people who have done that.
yeah, so that also scares me. But also, I just know I don't have the full time to commit to it right now. But eventually, I'm just gonna have to like bite the bullet and do it. Like, you just gotta push through at some point.
Right.
But I'm not there yet.
Nice. So, yeah, so you were asking me about my favorite job, which I said was truck driving probably. Other than this is actually one of my favorite jobs. Let's see what else is there. So
We should clip that and put it on the soundboard. So whenever somebody's complaining about something EMS related, you just play the line. This is actually one of my favorite jobs.
right. We should. So we've got McDonald's, we've got cell phone technician, car detailing, truck driving, EMS. I also worked part-time at Field and Stream, and then it turned into Sportsman's Warehouse. I worked there for a few years. That was fun, selling guns, working the cash register.
You had a store. You should talk about your store.
Yeah, we can get into that. So I loved working at Sportsman's Warehouse too. That was a fun job. It was really funny because like a lot of the people that worked there with me were younger, and like they thought I was cool. I don't know why. Maybe I am. I don't know. But
Maybe I am.
but I would like work a long shift on the ambulance, and then the next day come in and work a shift at Sportsman's Warehouse.
That's rough.
Yeah, but it wasn't that bad because I got them convinced that it was okay for me to sleep under my register. So I would do that.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah, and then like if a manager would come up to do like the rounds, they would like wake me up and be like, Mike, get up. And I'm like, all right, I get up. And then that was, I don't know. I enjoyed that job. I had a lot of fun doing
Well,
it.
yeah, you slept and you gaslighted kids. Like,
Right.
you didn't, you know?
Right. And
That's
then
not to love.
and then they like definitely screwed me over. That was like, it was weird because like my son was in high school and he played a lot of baseball. He was really good in baseball and he did a lot of travel ball. So I would work from like October to April. So pretty much like the busy season. right, in retail.
Yeah.
And then in April, I would take a leave of absence, and then I would be available to go to all my sons, as much as my son's game as I possibly could. And then I did that like for a couple of years. And then when Sportsman's Warehouse took it over, like I did it once, and then I came back in April or in October, and they're like, "So the company says that you've quit and come back too many times, so we can't accept you back anymore." And I'm like, "Are you serious? Like, it's getting to be your busy time, and I'm already trained on how to do this job." Like,
Also, you didn't quit.
right? I took
Like,
like a leave of absence.
you were also probably part-time already, right?
Oh yeah,
Yeah, then
definitely.
like
I was
what
very
was your
part time.
deal? That's weird.
So yeah, so I did that, and that was okay. And then I stopped doing that, and I really kind of stopped. Honestly, like I love that job because of the discount. That was one of the biggest reasons why I worked
Oh
there.
my God.
Like I had a huge discount. My wife loved it. She had so many UGG boots. Like the discount was amazing. I was like wearing Carhartt from top to bottom, and she was wearing UGG boots, and it was amazing. It was definitely amazing. So yeah, and then my wife, she's been a bartender. We talked about this in the last episode. Been a
Yep.
bartender for a long time, and she worked at TGI Fridays, and so I'm gonna do a little story about TGI Fridays. So I used to do weight loss competitions, and I would do pretty good at them. I would actually bulk up like 20 pounds prior to the weight loss competition, and then like the first week I would lose 20 plus 10, so like 30 pounds, and then I would win the whole competition. So anyway, so a local fitness place contacted a bunch of the restaurants in the area, and they were like, "You guys want to do like this weight loss competition between some of these major like restaurants?" And so they participated, and they wanted me on the team because they knew that I could do it. And one of the one of the employees got mad because I was not an employee of Fridays, but I was on the Fridays team, and I was like supporting like Fridays t-shirts and like in pictures and stuff. And they got really upset about it. So as a joke, the store manager was on the team, and I was like, maybe I should just work here. And she's like, "Okay, you're hired." And then next thing I know, I'm in the back of the kitchen cooking, and I worked there for quite some time, actually.
Was it that serious?
Yeah, it was. We won.
Wasn't that person also like on your team though? Like, why were they upset?
No, they weren't on the team. They wanted to be,
see.
but because I was on the team, they couldn't.
You took their
I
spot.
took their spot, and they were pissed because I was an employee.
This is like a weird clientele for this fitness center to like be like, do you guys in these chain restaurants want to be in a weight loss competition? That's like a weird, I don't know.
I mean, it brought them business though, because they would get people to get memberships for their gyms.
It's just like a weird, like, I don't look at like an Applebee's and think these people would want to be in a weight loss competition.
No,
No, it's weird.
yeah, I don't know, but yeah, it was fun. So I worked there for a while as a line cook, and that was an awesome job. It was so great because I had no responsibilities other than cooking food, and like my day job, I had to save lives, and then at night I'd go and just like chill on a line and cook food.
That is what we do as EMT basics, by the way.
Yeah,
Saving lives, all shift, every shift.
BLS before ALS.
Tell me about your store.
So yeah, so I decided that it was time to step out of EMS, and
What was the deciding factor in that? Were you just like, I need a break, or were you,
out.
or did something happen?
I was definitely burnt
Okay.
out. And so I was like, you know what, like we need a uniform store in this area. There's nowhere to go. And most people are ordering online, and they hate it because they can't try shit on and this and that. So I had an idea, and I talked to a friend of mine, and he wanted to invest in my idea. So we did it. And, I started it from scratch. And me and him did very well for the first year. And then, he had some different ideas. I had some different ideas, and we, split ways. The store's still open. But
I
yeah,
bought pants from there. Before Mike and I were ever like co-workers, before I'd ever like officially met him, I'm wearing them right now. I bought pants from
Yeah.
the store.
and definitely I remember that. Abby has a non-forgettable face, so I
I'm so much of
definitely
a freak that Mike
definitely
remembers me.
remember her coming in. So, actually, it's a funny story. I don't know if I can get into it, but whatever. My partner's wife was, I believe, sitting out in his car when she came in, and she was not thrilled that there was this chick walking into our store to buy pants. I don't know why, but she definitely was mad about it.
Just trying to abide by uniform policy. And these hoes out here are fucking hating on me. Unreal. I'm trying to save lives on my EMT basic shift.
How did the pants turn out? Did you like them?
I'm still wearing them. Clearly they worked out.
So that was a while ago too. So they are good pants.
They're holding up.
Like, gotta love First Tactical. So yeah, so those are all my jobs. There's a lot of them. I mean, there's a couple in between that I like worked for like a week, but
so many.
We don't need to get. Yeah,
Wow.
There was. Like, my wife picks on me all the time because of how many jobs I've had.
What do you do for fun when you're like not here or at your other job?
Hang out with my kids. That's fun, right? Play Barbies.
You said right, like you're double checking.
Like play with Barbies and stuff like that. That's pretty cool. We do that, and then I love the fire department. That's definitely a hobby. Could be it's a job also. I do work at the fire department as a paid person, so that's another job.
That counts as a.
It's
not a hobby, then, is it?
When I'm volunteering, it's a hobby.
Sure.
But no, the biggest thing that I do when I'm not at work in the summertime is I love cars, and I have a '95 Honda Civic hatchback that I absolutely love, and so working on that is something I like to do, and driving it for sure, racing people. It's a sleeper. Thank you, Nick.
I think it's pretty ugly, but I support Mike's hobby.
I mean, it's a '95 Honda Civic hatchback. Like, it has the normal Honda rust. Anybody that knows Hondas knows.
It's kind of an ugly color.
It is not.
Well, I don't know enough about cars to have like a real opinion about it.
You and my wife are the same way. Like, she will not ride in it with me. Like,
she's like, this is embarrassing.
Right. She's like, I was like, but anybody that like knows cars knows this is not like, this is a really cool car. And she's like, yeah, but anybody that does not know cars thinks it's just a piece of shit.
She's right, and I hate.
She will not ride with me.
I hate to say it, but what's special about it? It just looks like an old car to me.
Well, the gentleman that built the motor built it special. It's tuned, and it's pretty fast for being. It's a small car, so like, it's pretty fast. And
how fast can it go?
I don't know. Fast.
Okay.
That would be a good question for Nick, because I have not had a chance yet to really open it up.
Can you not like look at the speedometer and see what its like max is?
That doesn't mean anything. It could definitely go faster than that. That car originally was made to have like 70 horsepower and go like very slow, but it's got a whole different motor than what it actually came with. So
some of you are here listening thinking this is really cool. I don't know what he's talking about, but I imagine it's I don't know. Again, the car is kind of ugly. Like, I hate to say it, but like,
don't hate on my car. Anyway, so yeah, playing around my car, going to car shows, stuff like that.
Oh, you go to car shows?
Yeah.
Talk about that. I think that's cool.
Yeah, I mean, there's a car show that happens every Friday in my area. I go to quite often, and after like the first like month, it's like the same exact cars that go every week, so it kind of gets a little boring. But once in a while, like Honda does do like cars and coffee, so it's like in the morning, show up, they got donuts and coffee, and you just park your car and look at everybody else's car. And
is that what it is? You just look at each other's cars?
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know what goes on there, but that
walk around and talk about cars and like look at each other's cars and stuff like that.
What's your dream car?
That's a good question.
I have them every once in a while.
What is my dream car? Oh, good Lord. I would have to say a newer Civic Type R is what I really want.
I don't know what that means, but I asked for you guys who are listening. Maybe do know what that means.
Yeah, and one of our coworkers has one, so.
Are you jealous?
I mean, yes. But it is what it is.
I appreciate the honesty.
It's funny because like a lot of people would be like, my dream car is like a Lamborghini. And like mine's legit. Like I could literally go buy one tomorrow if I wanted to, but I'm not allowed to. My wife won't let me.
I think that the most of the like car guys who I talk to, their answer is something like yours versus just an average person who's like, yeah, I would love a Lambo. Like versus people who like work on cars regularly. I think it's usually like a different answer.
Yeah.
Not that I would really even know.
And then other than cars, like I said, music's my life.
Mike plays harmonica.
I do sometimes.
Which I think is sick.
Yeah. I'm gonna learn how to play the drums too. I've got a friend of mine that's gonna teach me how to play the drums.
I've been saying he should do this for a while. He has like a drummer aura. Like if you saw Mike and I asked you, guess what instrument he plays, you would guess drums.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I guess that's so. Like drums really, like I really get pulled in towards drums, and it's really weird. Like I could be like listening to music, and like I find myself like pulling out all of the other instruments and the singing, and just listening to the drums.
It's interesting. It's interesting you say that, because I've always said, when people ask me why I picked what instruments I picked to play, I really do think that whatever instrument you gravitate towards, when you hear a song, is the one that you're supposed to be playing.
Right.
So.
And like when I'm watching a live band, and I'm not talking about like going to a huge concert, like in a huge venue. I'm talking about like at a local bar watching like a live band. Like I'm watching the drummer, because I think it's cool.
It could be you. We could start a company band.
It could be. What did you guys think it was going to be? What kind of music was it?
Yeah. Screamo folk.
That would be awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Got a banjo in there.
Absolutely.
Who can scream?
There's going to be an open application now. If you guys are interested in being the lead vocalist for a screamo folk band, please let us know.
Yeah, comment down in the bottom there if you want to apply.
Yeah, and Mike will do drums and harmonica for the same time.
That's right.
Mike, you collect vinyls. That's something we have in common.
Yes.
How long have you been doing it for?
Actually, I just started a few years ago collecting vinyl. My parents had a lot of vinyl, and that's where I really got into it, was when I was younger. My mom would have a few drinks, and then she would definitely pull out the vinyls, and it's like a childhood memory for me. Like I remember those were good nights, you know what I'm saying? And so I think recently vinyls became a thing again, right? So I started collecting them, and buying more, and then I started going to like record stores and getting some older vinyls.
Yeah, it's like there's a whole culture around it, which is awesome. I did just this morning, I was at like a record sale. This guy was like selling his collection, and I got into a massive fight with somebody. So maybe the culture isn't always like a good culture, but there's a culture there.
That's funny. There is a local store where I'm from that has they've got a lot of vinyls, and it's pretty cool. I usually go in and like go through the $1 or $5 like vinyls to see if there's anything interesting in there, but
there never is.
I waste all my time doing that. But yeah, I definitely love collecting vinyls. So what is your favorite vinyl you got? I think you're supposed to be asking the questions, but I'm gonna ask you anyway.
Well, I think favorite vinyl translates very directly into what is your favorite album, because that's just what it is. Unless you're asking like aesthetically, like
yeah, I mean,
like to look at.
So I have my favorite bands and whatever, but like my favorite vinyl to listen to would be Iron Butterfly and Agata Davida, because it's an original 1978 vinyl and it just sounds amazing.
Sick. To answer your question, my favorite album ever is Modern Vampires of the City by Vampire Weekend. It's a big thing for me. But for vinyl, it's actually interesting. The answer is probably Is This It by The Strokes, because it has a different song on the vinyl edition than it does when you stream it, like in the album. There's like a different one in there. So that's kind of fun.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
All right. So, well, you've learned a lot about me and my history and my past and everything else. I think next episode again is gonna be me and Abby, and we're just gonna bullshit about some stuff.
Always.
Right, just like we do, and then after that we're gonna start inviting some guests on and see how that goes. We got a pretty good lineup of guests that want to be on our show, so it should get interesting.
Yeah, it will be entertaining.
It will be.
I can promise that much.
Hopefully a lot of laughs. But you guys got to bear with us. I mean, we're new at this. We're brand new at this. None of us have any experience on podcasting whatsoever. We
are really figuring it out as we go.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Like it's taken us like a month to do 2 episodes.
We're kind of roughing it, not gonna lie.
So, we've gotten some new equipment, which seems like it's making it better.
We should probably shout out because someone bought us that equipment.
Right. Matt bought us a microphone. Thank you, Matt.
Love you, Matt.
And then thank you, Tim and the family here at the Bangs Ambulance for getting us some other equipment.
I put a sticker, a company sticker on this microphone in your honor.
That's awesome. So, all right. I guess until next week. Hope everybody has a good week, and we'll see you again.
One more sound effect for the road.
One more sound effect for the road. What are we gonna go with?
Have a great week, everyone.